I love CONCACAF football. Everything about this broken confederation where it feels like half the national federations are corrupt and where every single team has a way of manufacturing some shady, underhanded home advantage. It's a joy to watch. I just can't get enough of it. It's my confederation. I'm American. I love to watch all these teams. I root for every CONCACAF team other than Mexico at any major international tournament. It's a lot of fun, and that means that the Gold Cup is for me one of the things I most look forward to every 2 years. For those of you who don't know, the Gold Cup is basically North America's version of the Euros or AFCON. They have 16 teams who qualify from the 41 member nations under CONCACAF. Not all of CONCACAF's member nations are FIFA members, so some of them are only affiliated with CONCACAF, which they don't tend to qualify, but still a few of them did. I think Martinique's the best one, who at least at one point in time weren't registered with FIFA. I don't know if they are now. They might be. But at one point they weren't. And it's just fun, especially when a Central American team or a Caribbean team do upset the odds and end up going far. For instance, Curacao have had a few decent performances where they've reached the knockout stage in recent times. So that's a lot of fun. I'm going to be going through each group every day and doing a little bit of a preview for them. So that starts with Group A, which contains Mexico, Costa Rica, Suriname, and the Dominican Republic. First up, I'd like to shout out Dominican Republic. Congratulations on making your first ever Gold Cup. The Dominican Republic is more well known for baseball than it is football, so it's nice to see their football team get some kind of recognition. They finally get to be in the Gold Cup. That being said, I think this group is very much going to be dominated by Mexico and Costa Rica. I don't know if there's much hope for Suriname and the Dominican Republic. I did read through their squad list, and I was surprised there are actually a decent amount of players competing in Europe. Granted, in like Sweden or Greece, or if in one of the major nations in like the Championship or Bundesliga too. Still, though, for Suriname and Dominican Republic, that's more than I thought there'd be. So they maybe have a few better players than I give them credit for. Still, I just don't see any way that Costa Rica and Mexico don't win this group. Mexico, especially since Canada and US don't seem to have taken it as seriously, are probably going to be the favorites for the Gold Cup. They actually have taken it seriously. They've got players like Araujo, Edson Alvarez, Raul Jimenez, Santiago Jimenez, like all of these players who are competing at a very high level. And Mexico has had their struggles in recent times, and the Mexican Federation is not very good at fostering talent. Like, Liga MX have kind of prioritized money so much to the extent that they seem to not really focus on youth development anymore, and that's kind of hurt Mexico because it is obviously a very proud footballing nation, but recently they haven't produced quite so many talents as they used to. Though from the list of players I just read out, there are a few of them who are still competing at a pretty high level. Mexico also did call up a 39-year-old Guillermo Ochoa, which is maybe a bit worrying if you're still going for someone who on his day was like one of the best goalkeepers in the world, sure, but 39, like that's probably not really the age you want to be calling up at this point. You want to have moved on, though perhaps that is experience that could help out the squad. So Mexico, big favorites. I imagine they'll win every game fairly comfortably. Costa Rica also, while it's not as good as they used to be, Costa Rica had for a while a really good team. They had, for instance, Real Madrid's goalkeeper in Keylor Navas, who was in goal for multiple Champions League triumphs, the successor to Casillas. Those are very big shoes to fill, and to see him filled by a Costa Rican was pretty cool. But the reality is for Costa Rica, that 2014 World Cup quarterfinalist team is gone now. They're old. The likes of Navas and Joel Campbell aren't all that anymore. And it's a shame because Costa Rica for a long time were a really good team. And for most of the last 30 years, Costa Rica's been the next best nation after the U.S. and Mexico. Now they're not even the best nation in Central America. That honor goes to Panama. So they're not as good as they used to be, Costa Rica. Still, I doubt they're going to have much of a problem getting through this group. So it's maybe not the most exciting group. I imagine Mexico will go through on 9 points. all of the games are happening in the southwest of the U.S. All the games in the Gold Cup in general are happening in the West because the Club World Cup's also happening. So yeah, Mexico, I imagine, will go through with 9 points. Costa Rica with 6. The only real question is what happens between Dominican Republic and Suriname, who play on the last day. And maybe, just maybe, that could be a fun one. But of all the groups in the tournament, this is probably the least exciting one.